Breathing in the freestyle or crawl is the most complex and challenging skill in all of swimming, and this happens because we change our position and our way of swimming, breaking the hydrodynamics with an instinctive reflex to come up and breathe. In this video you will learn the most difficult skill to integrate, which is managing the inhalation and exhalation of air as you swim. When you master this technique, you will be able to breathe bilaterally with comfort and fluidity, preserving speed and correct body position. Are you ready? I am Rafa Soriano and this is Efficient Swimming. Hello swimmers! As we saw in the previous video, it is very important not to skip steps in learning. So before seeing the exercises, I will show you how breathing works so that you can detect errors, because what cannot be seen, measured or felt cannot be changed. From our first breath at birth, breathing is an involuntary act. We don't have to think to be able to breathe. But when we swim, breathing becomes voluntary and is considered the most difficult skill to learn in swimming. Because we almost always sacrifice the quality of the breathing technique, it also requires fluidity, coordination and optimal timing. Out of the water, during each inhalation, we typically take in about half a liter of air. However, our lung capacity is much larger. In adults, the lungs can hold between 4.5 to 6 liters of air. You've probably heard that swimming improves lung capacity. Well, that's not entirely accurate. Lung capacity is largely determined by genetics, so no matter how much we practice respiratory exercises, changes in lung capacity will be minimal. However, swimming can enhance lung function, aiding in the expulsion of carbon dioxide and maximizing oxygen assimilation from the air entering the lungs. Remember that none of the air we breathe is oxygen. The air we breathe is composed of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. Another important fact is that the lungs are never completely empty. There is always about 1 liter of residual air. This residual air helps us to maintain a good swimming position while we refill it. When we swim, breathing is the opposite of what we are used to because we inhale through the mouth and not through the nose. So why do we inhale through the mouth when swimming? The answer is simple. Because when we swim, we have a small fraction of a second to breathe, and the mouth has a great capacity to absorb air. With a quick gulp of air through the mouth, we are able to fill the lungs. However, if we do it through the nose, it takes much longer and we have no time left to breathe. For this reason, many swimmers lift their head when breathing to get some more time with their head out, because they do not expel the air properly inside the body. Now we will see the exercises, but first don't forget to leave your like and subscribe with the bell activated. With this simple act, you help me in creating valuable content for you. We will start with the breathing rehearsals. Breathing requires a very complex coordination of many parts of the body moving at the same time. If any part is uncoordinated, overall efficiency can be significantly affected. Rehearsals or simulations are the stepping stone to breathing, because it creates a controlled, comfortable and distraction-free practice where you can manage your breathing with your body movements. It is very common to see swimmers practicing rehearsal, holding onto the wall, with their body stretched out and kicking. Don't do it. When you hold onto the wall, your legs start to sink because your arms are too high and you have to kick hard to counteract this sinking. The same thing happens when you use a board. You won't be able to breathe properly if you're struggling not to sink. The idea is to do this from a comfortable, relaxed position, both in the rehearsal and swimming. The practice is done by leaning your body forward, simulating the stroke. As you exhale, you have to think about going in slowly, and just before you have the airway out of the water, exhale hard, and then breathe in. Pronounce in your head, expulso, expulso forte, respiro. This exercise is very similar to a drill known as bubble breath. Bubble breath. With the difference that in the final part, we exhale fast and hard, as if you were trying to blow the water away from your mouth and nose. This simple detail will help you adjust the timing of your breathing, because from the first moment you have your nose and mouth out of the water, you will be ready to inhale, gaining more time in breathing. As Terry Laughlin, founder of Total Immersion, used to say, it's easy to breathe late, almost impossible to breathe early. In rehearsal, make an effort to make the movement symmetrical, and try to make the breathing rhythm very similar to the rhythm you use when you swim. You are now ready to integrate the skills learned in the rehearsals into the full swim, and you will accomplish this by using the 5 most important focuses of attention to manage the inhalation and exhalation of air when you swim. First, start exhaling when you finish inhaling. But be very careful not to expel all the air at once. You have to exhale slowly and continuously so as not to generate anxiety and not to lose buoyancy. Remember that exhalation is done through the nose, mouth, or both, although I recommend that at first you do it through the nose, because as we saw before, the nose has little capacity for inhalation and exhalation, and this will help to expel the air slowly. You will be more relaxed and also avoid getting water in your nose. The second focus, finish strong. Exhale hard when your mouth gets close to the surface, as if you are trying to blow the water away from your mouth and nose. At this point, you can use your mouth as a quick escape route for air. Although if you have done the previous focus well, there will be little air remaining, and with the nose itself would be enough to expel, but this will depend on the individual. The third focus of attention, breathe early. It is easy to breathe late, almost impossible to breathe early. For this reason, the previous focus of attention is very important, so that you can inhale as early as possible. This way, you avoid one of the most serious mistakes in swimming, that of prolonging the time your head is out of the water when you breathe. The fourth focus of attention? Breathe with your body. Don't just turn your head. Let your chin follow your shoulder as your body turns to the side where you breathe. Taking advantage of the natural rotation that the body makes when we swim by making weight shifts. The fifth focus, don't lift your head. Keep your head and spine aligned as you move forward to breathe. There are 3 tricks that work very well with this focus of attention. The first is to have one eye in and one eye out of the water. Or, as you breathe, look at the corkboard with one eye inside and one eye outside. The other trick is not to try to come up to breathe, but to go forward to breathe. If you do these tricks well, you will minimize the rotation and avoid an overshoot of the body. You will also get a bow wave in front of your head that will open up extra breathing space. Here is a complementary video that will explain in detail how to breathe behind the wave. If you follow this practice, you will be able to preserve the efficiency of your stroke and your set while turning during a breath. You will also feel much more comfortable and relaxed, making less effort than ever while breathing. This same practice can be done unilaterally. Only during the practice and the swim, you should think of a single progressive exhalation and then breathe. Many coaches will say, don't fill your lungs, so you don't float too much in your upper body and sink your legs. If you have watched my previous videos, you will know this is not true. I have shown countless times that the legs sink because the body is not balanced because of your position and not because of the amount of air in the lungs. However, once you have the correct breathing, you will be able to calibrate the flatness of the lungs between 70% and full. I hope this video has been of great help to you. Here are 2 more videos that will complement your breathing skills. Don't forget to like and subscribe with the bell on. And if you are already subscribed, Don't forget to share this video to help me. See you in the comments and in the next video, because I will not rest until you are an efficient swimmer.